great way for people to say, okay, let's dress up a goat and show them how cute they are, and then maybe we won't drink goat's milk or eat goat meat because they're very much like our cats and dogs. But the problem with that is that you don't know where these videos come from. So we see a lot of videos of, like tiger cubs and this or that. Well, we have no idea what happened before that video was shot, right? So, you have to be really wary of where the videos are coming from. But let's talk about potbelly pigs, this huge craze of potbelly pigs and mini pigs and teacup pigs and micro pigs and pocket pigs. They're all potbelly pigs. And online you see them in cute little tutus and outfits. And really what that does, in one way it's real cute to watch, but in another way, it spreads so much misinformation, and people still believe that there's such a breed of pig that's going to stay small and be able to wear a tutu for its whole life and fit in a purse, and none of that is true. So although it's cute, these videos can often, instead of sending a nice message and teaching people about the value of all animals, it often swings the other way, and it spreads a lot of misinformation. So I think you just really need to check your sources and always do your own research before sharing this stuff, because instead of sharing for the good, you could actually be sharing for the bad.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll skip the ones. We'll get important ones here. So do you see one media platform as having more of an influence than another one?
Well, I think obviously social media is huge right now. Businesses can be made or taken down online. Online's huge. It's where we're going. We know from demographics that the people our age are online all the way up to senior citizens now. I wish that the information out there was accurate. Although it's great to spread information. I love Mercy for Animals because they show all of that undercover footage. They go in and they spread this information. But what was the question again? The best platform. Sorry.
Or if one's better than another.
That's a tricky one. I tend to believe things I see on the news more so than things I see from several of the vegan sites out there or animal rights sites. And I myself am an animal rights activist. I follow a plant-based diet and follow a vegan lifestyle. But for some reason, when I see CNN or CBC sharing something, it makes me really happy to see, because I think the mass population isn't necessarily on Twitter or isn't necessarily on Facebook, and they're not necessarily checking their sources. But when you see something from a real news media, I find it carries a lot of power. The problem is we're not seeing that as much as we should be. It gets buried quite a bit because, I'm not going to talk all about the money involved in agricultural and big agra, but it does get buried a lot. So I thank goodness for platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and social media for getting the word out there. I think it's making a huge difference. We're just taking baby steps, but we're getting there, and the message is getting across. Sorry, I'm trying to keep them slow.
No, that's fine. So that's kind of going off of that one is, if it was possible, I think a lot of it's because funding isn't there, but if it was possible, what kind of news stories would you like to see surrounding animal rights and things like that, like on mainstream news?
Absolutely. I want people to know what really happens behind the scenes. So when you're on Facebook, you're scrolling through your news feed and you see something that says graphic images, most people scroll right past it. People aren't watching it. The people that watch it are the people that know often, and then we, as vegans, try to tell other people, and we're so passionate about it.
What kind of stories would you like to see if the news would
pick it up? I want the news to show what's really happening. I want glass walls on slaughterhouses. I want people to know that the little farm down the road isn't necessarily in any way humane. In fact, we have a Yorkshire pig that is the type of pig killed for bacon. He was raised in a small farm down the road, not this road, but some farm road, and he lived in horrific circumstances. And I want people to know that just because the farm down the road looks picturesque, it's not. Inside those barn walls are animals that want to live, breathe, walk, and be out in this, like these guys behind me. They do not want to be kept in the dark in a pen in a stall and then slaughtered. I want people to understand what's really happening there, but I also want solutions to that. I want people to understand that we can make a change, because if people aren't demanding these things, if people aren't demanding milk, dairy, eggs, then the industries aren't going to be providing it. They're going to be providing what people are wanting, and people are wanting another option for their protein. And lots of companies are out there doing that. But I think that as a society, we need to be watching out for our most vulnerable citizens, absolutely seniors and things like that. But we want to look at our very most vulnerable citizens, which are farmed animals, because they have no rights. They don't have the same rights as your cat or your dog. And that's something I want to see, and I want people to know. Sorry, I'm super passionate.
No, I love it. I love it. I just wish that my big memory card, because this is so good. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I might come back.
Yeah, no, I'm here all day.
So, what do you think about celebrity influence?
Again, double-edged sword, right? So you have these celebrities out there toting this awesome vegan diet, but let's face it, what happens if they don't stay on it? What does that say to our society? When a celebrity has their own chef, their own personal trainer, their own shopper, and they don't stick to it, what does that say to everyone that's looking up to those celebrities? So in one way, having celebrities tout the vegan lifestyle, it's great because it gets the word to the masses. But let's face it, we're not all millionaires. What we need to know is what our options are and how do we do it. And that is what I would like to see celebrities doing. Not just saying, I'm awesome, I'm vegan, I'm beautiful, and I'm spreading the word. I want them to say, I've chosen to take on this this lifestyle because A, B, C, or D, and this is how you can do it too.
That's good. Yeah, that's what a lot of people have said, that sure they do it, but what happens when they go off of it? Yeah. Okay, so skipping to kind of a corporations section here. How much impact do you think corporations have on misleading the public?
They have a lot, obviously. So you look at us, we're this tiny little sanctuary. We have about 60 animals in total. And why spread the word every day? And I'm making a little impact. I mean, here I am in this wonderful documentary. But I think that corporations have a huge responsibility to the citizens on this planet, and not just human citizens, all citizens on this planet. And in fact, they don't have, I would not say, I'm not a big fan of big anything, whether that be big pharma, big agriculture, because when profits are involved, the message is skewed to bring in more profit. I would like to see corporations making a real impact on its people in the right direction instead of leading and misleading people down a dark road to make money.
So kind of going off that, with advertising, do you think their buzzwords like natural, free run, organic are affecting the message?
Okay, so just a little personal history on me. I was a marketing manager way back a long time ago, before becoming a farmer, an ethical farmer, let's say. And so marketing is very interesting to me. I just did a little segment of a video recently on the egg industry, and you go to the grocery store, you have in your mind, I want to do good. I don't want to support those hens in those horrible cages. I still want to eat eggs. So I'm going to buy the eggs that say free run. And I'm going to buy the eggs that say Nestle'd, because that makes the consumer feel like they're making a difference. And that is awesome. The problem is free run doesn't mean humane. Free run means they're not in cages, but they're all pushed together into a room, so there's nowhere to run. They just don't have a cage around them. And Nestle just means there might be one box to thousands of hens. So it's just buzzwords, and it's really unfortunate. They also put the prices up on those products, which can discourage people on a budget. So I think what we need to do is have real advertising. So you get some milk and you see this beautiful cow grazing in the field, but they're missing the fact that that cow screamed for its baby when it was taken away from it so that people could drink the milk. So unfortunately, the advertising just continues this rolling ball of misinformation, and they do that so that people can feel better about their choices. But in reality, I think deep down we all know nothing wants to die. No animal, human or non, wants to give up their baby so that their milk can go to somebody else. We know that, and if we are in a mindset that we want to do better, we need to actually do better instead of just making ourselves feel more comfortable. We are in control. We're in control of what's out there on the store shelves. The consumer is in control. The consumer is the one that demands these products and these services. So it's up to us to start making some better choices and demanding the companies, the industries to start, pulling up their bootstraps and doing what's right.
Or do you think it should be government's responsibility to have stricter advertising so that they can't do that?
I think that would be awesome, but then who says the government's right and what their thoughts are right and that they're getting their information from the right spots? Because they're probably going to get their information from people that bring them in money. So, you know, it's a dirty, 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 dirty place. But it's up to us as the consumer to demand this. And again, with the social media and everything else is out there, we have the tools. Write letters, call the companies, make sure you're making your voice heard, because in this day and age with the social media platform, there's no reason not to do that.
So then just going off that a little bit for the last part of the corporation's government thing, this kind of question is coming from, we watched a documentary on the milk industry and how, like, World War II or whatever, the soldiers weren't getting enough nutrition, so that's why they built up all this milk infrastructure and sent it over there. And when the war was over, they came back, and the government and the corporations are all part of this milk that nobody needs anymore, so they put it in the food guide. They pushed it out with, like, the drink milk. So do you think that we should hold the government and corporations accountable for misleading us just about our dietary needs?
Well, absolutely, I think we do. Look how much money we are spending annually on healthcare, on diseases that could easily be eradicated by changing something very simple, our diet. Milk, and I saw this in Cowspiracy, actually, another documentary. A doctor was talking about what is milk. Baby growth cow fluid, something like that. It is made by mothers to feed their babies to grow a huge cow. Okay? We are the only species on this planet that still drinks breast milk. And not only do we drink breast milk, but breast milk from another species. So to me, it's very black and white. I don't want to drink breast milk. And, you know, you say to somebody, well, why don't you drink cows or dog milk? And they'll look at you like you're from another planet. But drinking cow's milk's okay. Take a minute and think about it. You know, this is what your government's done. This is what big agriculture's done. This is what, you know, all of these conglomerates have done, is to brainwash us. But we just need to step out of that for a minute. And this is what people that are vegan have done. They've stepped out of the box and they see it for what it is. And vegans are often seen as extreme because they're stepping out of the box. But instead, they're just people that are very pragmatic and who can see it for what it is. And I think our world's moving more towards that way because of people like you.
So then, this is a perfect segue. What do you think the biggest obstacle is between people being aware of what's going on and actually making lifestyle changes?
Well, I might make people angry by saying that, but guess what? We're all, as individuals, we make our own choices, and we know what's out there. It's pretty much